Welcome to Get Over Your Ex, Healing from Your Past Relationship. My name is Coach Veronica Marie, and during day 3 and 4, we're going to look at the previous self that attracted and even needed your ex. If you remember from my previous video, there are 3 parts of the self that are super important in this topic: the persona, the ego, and the higher self. If you haven't had a chance to view that video, go ahead and view it and then come back and start this one, because that information is super important. A lot of times you meet the persona of the individual and you fall in love with the persona based upon whatever need you have at that time. For example, if you're in need of fun, then you're going to enjoy the fun part of their persona. If you need support, you're going to enjoy the supportive aspect of their persona. I hope this makes sense. So I would love for you to jot down the things that you saw in this individual that initially attracted you to him or her. What did you like? What did you love? This is super important, because when we see what we like and what we love, the subconscious will scan these qualities by your perceived need and say, yes, this is a good fit. No, this is not a good fit. If it's a good fit, your subconscious begins to create stories around this persona. The problem is that the persona is not the real person. The persona is an expression of the person that this individual chooses to present based upon their own needs and desires. There's nothing inherently wrong with creating stories in our head that involve other people, but the problem here is that we're basing the stories, lifetime connections, stories of forever and beyond, on a part of the personality that is not the true person. This means that the stories we create will not be true. They don't even stand a chance at being manifested because they're not based upon the true individual. All of us are doing this until we realize we're doing this, right? So it's important that when you meet a person's persona, you see things about them that you like. They look good, they smell good, they sound good, they seem to have their head on the shoulders. Just remember, this is not the entire person. This is one part. So remember, write down the things that attracted you to this person, and also write down the things you saw yourself doing with this person. Like, you looked out into the future and likely said, I could see us going on dates. I could see us traveling. I could see us, all of these things. The reason we do this is because as children, we have seen a picture that we either like or don't like with our parents, or in our environment, or in a society, period. If you see a picture that you like, you try to recreate that. If you see a picture that you don't like, a picture of relationships, then you try to make it better in your own life. There's nothing wrong with that either, except the way that we try to make it better begins to present problems because it's based on illusion or untruth, and that is trying to build a future with a person's persona. How do you know you've done this? Because as time passes, you begin to see that this person is very different than when you first met. You begin to say things like, it wasn't like this in the beginning. They weren't like this. They didn't used to do that. That's because you came in contact with the persona. It could mean that the person was being deceptive. It could mean that they were just being who they were at that time. But again, in order not to repeat this pattern, we have to recognize that the persona is not the person. Many, many people fall in love with the persona and they are disappointed. They even marry a persona and they're disappointed, right? During the next 2 days, we're going to discuss the ego and how this works, and then we're going to bring it all together in order to understand how to heal so that we don't do this again, all right? These are some core concepts that are super important. Don't ever feel that you're behind in this course, because there is no behind. But make sure you view each video in its entirety. On purpose, I'm breaking this up into small pieces so that it's not information overload. And plus, I understand you're busy, busy, busy. I am too. So I figure if we can have it in small pieces, we can work systematically towards your healing. I'm Coach Veronica Marie. Reach out if you need anything. Remember, you can find me at veronicamarie.com. I'll see you soon.